Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. Today's video we're going to be talking about some unpopular opinions. So I think it's really important to talk to you guys about perfumes that I absolutely love. Of course, I want to tell you about any new discoveries that I have and perfumes that I've just been enjoying. That's my favorite. I love doing that. And that's pretty much why I started my channel, is because I wanted to have other people to talk to about perfumes that I love. But I also think it's pretty helpful to talk about perfumes that don't work out for me as well. I know sometimes we can kind of feel like we're alone. Everybody loves this perfume, and why don't I like this perfume, and what's wrong with me, and is my nose broken? It's important for us to remember that there are a lot of other people out there that probably don't like that fragrance as well. You're not alone, and it's okay. We don't have to all like the same fragrances. That would be super boring if we all like the same thing. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. I really appreciate you being here. And let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright, this first fragrance is definitely polarizing. So a lot of people love this fragrance, but I also know there are quite a few people who do not like this fragrance. So this might not necessarily be an unpopular opinion, but I do know this fragrance is super polarizing, and this is by AMOUAGE Guidance. This is a fragrance I have tried several times to love. I have worn this fragrance multiple times trying to get it to work for me because I want that experience that everybody else talks about. I want to smell what the people, the people who love this fragrance, I want to smell what they're smelling, but I just don't. Straight up, Guidance smells like body odor on me from start to finish. And I say to finish, but I really can't tolerate having this on for very long. I don't make it to the dry down on this fragrance because it smells so strongly of body odor on me that I just have to take it off. I can't stand it. Now, obviously, the people who love this fragrance, they're probably not getting body odor. It probably doesn't smell like body odor on them. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't like it. I don't think anybody wants to smell like body odor, but that's what it does on my skin, and I do not like it. It is a very strong and good performing fragrance, so there's that. And if you do like it, the bottle is absolutely beautiful, and I wish I liked it because I want the bottle. When I look at the notes of Guidance, I'm really shocked because there's pear, there's hazelnut. I was really excited about that. I usually love a good hazelnut note. I like anything that kind of smells like Nutella. There's Akagaya wood, and I'm wondering if maybe that's it. There's also ambergris in here as well, and usually I get along with ambergris pretty well. It just kind of smells like salty, like a salty vibe on my skin, but I'm wondering if it's the combination between ambergris and the Akagaya wood. I don't know. Who knows what's in here that's causing the body odor vibe, but let me know in the comment section what you think of Guidance. Are you team Guidance, or did you absolutely hate it? Because I feel like there's no in between. I feel like it's a love or a hate, but for me, Guidance is a 100% no. Okay, this next fragrance, I was really surprised that I disliked it as much as I do. I really thought I was going to love this fragrance. This is by Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. This is a very loved fragrance, but I cannot tolerate it. And I think it's because of the cloves. There's a lot, well, it just says spicy notes, but I'm pretty sure that it's cloves because I had the dupe. I had the one by Al Haramain, the tobacco edition. I think it's like Amber Oud Tobacco Edition, something like that. It's in the gold bottle. I bought that one and I sprayed it on and I was like, whoa, this is so spicy. And I like cloves for the most part, but I have a threshold when it comes to cloves. I can only take so much, and the cloves in there were just absolutely too much. And I thought, I don't think this is a very good dupe for Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. It's been a minute since I've smelled Tobacco Vanille, and I don't remember there being this many cloves in the fragrance. And so I was convinced it wasn't a good dupe, but then I went and got a sample of Tobacco Vanille and compared them side by side, and wouldn't you know it, it's a really good dupe. It's a pretty spot on dupe. I mean, in the air, if you were to walk by someone wearing it in the air, I doubt you'd be able to tell the difference. And I just didn't remember Tobacco Vanille being that spicy, but it is. It is the cloves just come forward on my skin so much, and it's almost sickening. Like, it's kind of reminds me of medicine in a way. But I do have other fragrances in my collection with cloves. I absolutely love Dolce Amalfi from Xerjoff, and that has cloves in it, but it's just the right amount. It's not over the top to where it's just so concentrated that it smells syrupy and medicinal to me at a certain concentration. So Tobacco Vanille, I just can't do it. I can't tolerate it. It is way too spicy in the cloves department. So that one is a no. Of course, on all of these, I'm going to ask you guys to put your opinions in the comment section. I want to hear from you if you like Tobacco Vanille or not. Do you find it too spicy? Let me know. Okay, this next one's gonna ruffle some feathers, I feel like. This next one is by Gallagher Fragrances, and this is wicked good. For my chocolate lovers out there, I'm sure you know about this fragrance. You probably love this fragrance. This is a very popular chocolate fragrance. I was super excited. I love chocolate. I love chocolate in my perfumes. I love to eat chocolate. I'm a big chocolate fan, and I really thought that this was going to be a shoo-in for me, but it smells like chocolate and dirt to me. There was something in it that smelled like straight up dirt. I'm really not sure what it is. The notes on Fragrantica just says milk chocolate, tonka bean, and Madagascar vanilla. That should be a shoo-in. That should be an absolute 100% yes. I'm sure there's more notes than that, but there is something in the fragrance that smells dirty and earthy, mixed in with there's definitely chocolate, and it's a pretty decent performing perfume if I remember correctly. It's been a little while since I've tried it, but I didn't remember struggling with the performance, but there was just this underlying dirty vibe to the fragrance that I really, really disliked, and I'm super disappointed because I really thought that was going to be like the chocolate perfume of my dreams, and for many it is the chocolate perfume of their dreams, so it's just not for me. All right, up next we have by Vilhelm Parfumerie. This is Poets of Berlin. This fragrance was something I wasn't sure about anyway. You know, I wasn't 100% sure I was going to like it. I kind of had a feeling I wasn't going to like it because it has bamboo in it. And usually I'm not a fan of any kind of green note like that, like bamboo, especially if it's super noticeable. So top notes, you have blueberry and lemon. I was pretty excited about that because I really like a good fruity blueberry and lemon fragrance. But then there's bamboo and orris in the mid, which are definitely prominent. And I do like orris. I like irisy perfumes, but it has to be with something sweet. And then in the base, there's vanilla, sandalwood, and vetiver, which are notes that I usually get along with pretty well. But for me, it was the bamboo. It was very green. And it kind of smelled like you were picking blueberries off the bush, and you could smell everything, just the blueberries with the green like leaves and things like that. I'm just not a big fan of green notes, so I was really bummed about this one because this is a tribute to David Bowie, and I'm a big David Bowie fan, so I really wanted to like this fragrance, but I ended up just not liking it because it just had that bamboo green note. So it's not for me. It's not a bad perfume though. I think if you like green notes, I think you should give it a shot. I think it's worth checking out. It's super unique. I don't think I've really ever smelled anything like it. It's definitely worth getting your nose on if you're a fan of green notes, but if you're sensitive to green notes like I am, then Poets of Berlin probably is not going to be for you. All right, this next perfume I'm pretty sure traumatized me. I still feel like I am trying to get over the experience of this fragrance because I truly hated this perfume. I could not get this perfume off of me fast enough, and people were saying that it smelled like Love Don't Be Shy from Killian. This is by MEMO Paris. Did I say that right? MEMO. This is by MEMO Paris, and this is SINTRA. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, yes, it does smell like Love Don't Be Shy, but there's petitgrain running through the entire wear of the fragrance, and I looked up petitgrain because that's what this is. This is a green citrus notes of leaves and crushed branches, and it is sharp and it is harsh and it is prominent in this fragrance. Okay, it smells like Love Don't Be Shy mixed with crushed up leaves and branches. It's just so not my thing. It's just so not my thing. And now anytime I see petitgrain in a fragrance, I run for the hills. I mean, I run so far away. I never want to smell that again. It was traumatizing, and I just truly cannot stand this fragrance, but I know lots of people who love it. I mean, it does have a lot of other notes in it. Like, I would have loved this. It has the orange blossom and neroli. It has a milk note. There's cinnamon. There's some florals. There's some Madagascar vanilla, caramel, marshmallow. So all that yummy good stuff is in there. That marshmallow, caramel, love don't be shy vibe is definitely there. But then you've got crushed leaves and branches running through the fragrance. And I don't see how that goes together. But you know, some people like that. You know, some people like that contrast. Some people might think that Love Don't Be Shy is too sweet, and so having more of a green touch to the fragrance helps to round it out and give it character. I completely understand that. So if you're a green lover, if you love green notes, you might like this. But for me, no. Okay, this next one was an absolute shock for me because I almost 99.9% was sure I was going to love this. This is the type of fragrance that I truly love. This is Side Effect from Initio Parfums, and this is vanilla and rum and tobacco. It's warm, it's spicy, it's sweet, it's got a little bit of woodiness to it. I mean, it is everything that I absolutely love in a perfume. If you're new to my channel, my favorite fragrance of all time is by Killian, and it's Angel Share. I love that warm cinnamon apple pie with woody notes type of feel to a perfume, and I thought that's what this was going to be. I love boozy notes, so rum usually works out for me. Cognac, rum, I absolutely love that in a perfume. I don't really know what went wrong here. I have tried Side Effect several times. I have to scrub it off. It just doesn't mix well with my skin chemistry. I honestly don't believe that there's anything wrong with the fragrance. I feel like there are a lot of people who love this fragrance, and I feel like I should love this fragrance. I think it just doesn't mix with my personal skin chemistry. I think in this one, the problem is truly me and not the perfume, but I'm super disappointed because I wanted to love this fragrance. I don't know what is causing the conflict, but again, I get this very strong body odor feel to the fragrance. As soon as it hits my skin, I don't know if it's the kind of rum in here. Like I said, usually rum works for me, but I have another boozy fragrance that does the same thing. M. Micallef's Note Vanille. Smells like body odor on me. I cannot wear it. It is straight up. And I am wondering if maybe the kind of rum, I think there's rum in that. There's some sort of boozy note in that, I believe. Whatever's in that might be in Side Effect that doesn't mix well with my skin chemistry. I haven't completely figured it out yet, but I cannot wear Side Effect. It smells absolutely horrible on me. It's such a bummer. This next one I was really excited about because I had a lot of success with another fragrance from them. This is by Liquid Imaginaires, and this is Dom Rosa. I absolutely love Blanche Bette. I had heard a lot of people recommend Dom Rosa, that it's a really great champagne, kind of fizzy, bubbly type of rosy kind of scent. And I was really excited for that because that's kind of something that sounds like it would be up my alley. And I don't know what's in here that didn't work out for me, but I'll read you the notes. There's champagne, there's pear. So the opening is supposed to be this fruity, fizzy vibe, which it is. And then there's rose, there's cloves. I didn't get an overly like clove sense from the fragrance, so I really don't think that is what it is. There's a lot of woody notes in the base, and I'm wondering if maybe it was the Gaiac wood. Sometimes I get along with Gaiac wood, sometimes I don't. There's just woody notes, cedar, vetiver, and Gaiac wood. I don't know. There was just something in this fragrance that really felt off to me and just didn't mesh well with my personal skin chemistry. Again, I don't necessarily know that it's the fragrance. I don't think the fragrance itself is bad. I think there's just a note that doesn't agree with me in the fragrance. Also, I will say I wasn't super impressed with the performance. I did have a decant. I didn't just have a sample. I had a 10 ml decant of Dom Rosa. And, you know, I feel like you can tell the performance a little bit better with that than you can just a little tiny sample. I feel like a decant gives you a decent idea of the perfume. With a 10 ml, you can really spray it on, you can overspray, you can get a good sense of the fragrance, and I just felt like the performance wasn't as good. It definitely isn't as good as Blanche Bet. A lot of people love Dom Rosa, but it's not a safe blind buy. You definitely need to try that one first. And it did not work out for me. Okay, let's talk about an oldie that everybody loves. Everybody loves this perfume. I used to see this in everybody's best of vanilla videos. I don't really hear a whole lot of people talking about it anymore, but it's a classic at this point. This is by Dior, and this is Hypnotic Poison. This is the EDT. I just couldn't get into this. I owned a bottle of it. I tried wearing it several times. I ended up decluttering it because it just did not work out for me. Hate is a strong word. I didn't hate it. I never hated it. I didn't think it was a scrubber. I didn't have to scrub it off, but I thought it was super boring. It was like the most boring vanilla fragrance I have ever smelled. I know, you're clutching your pearls right now, right? Like, what? How dare you? I just cannot get down with it. Now, I know some people who don't like this fragrance because they feel like it smells like Play-Doh. And I never really got that. I didn't get Play-Doh or doll head vibes. That's not the reason why I didn't like this fragrance. I just was bored to tears. It was a big yawn fest for me, and I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. It didn't do a thing for me, and I never really did understand the hype behind it. It seemed to just disappear on me pretty quickly. I got only a couple hours out of it. It is an EDT, so there's that, but yeah, I just didn't understand the hype. I just thought it was a boring vanilla that didn't do much for me. It didn't excite me. It didn't last very long, and I don't know why everybody loves it, but I don't, and that one was decluttered a long time ago. That was like in the beginning of my fragrance journey that I decluttered that one. I just blind bought it because everybody loves it so much. But yeah, it's not for me. So I definitely want to hear from you about that one. What do you think about Hypnotic Poison from Dior? All right, this next one is by Stéphane Humbert Lucas. This is Sandance. And I thought for sure, again, this was going to be a shoo-in. People describe this as a delicious chocolatey fragrance. It has cacao in it. I was super excited about that. And it is very possible that it dries down to be a very delicious cacao, chocolatey type of fragrance. I wouldn't know because I never got that far. I've tried to get past the opening of this fragrance and I can't because there's whiskey in the opening. Now remember earlier in the video I said I love boozy notes, but I cannot handle whiskey. I can't do it. I have horrible memories with whiskey. I made some really bad decisions with whiskey. Me and whiskey, we do not get along. And this straight up smells like a shot of whiskey in the opening. The whiskey is so strong. And I'm sure that that dies down. And I'm sure the other notes come out to play. And if I were to give it a chance, maybe I would end up liking it. You know, it's just a theory. I mean, I don't know for sure. But I feel like the whiskey can't stay that strong throughout the entire wear of the fragrance. But oh my gosh, it's too much for me in the opening, and I end up having to scrub it off every time. So I think the longest I have worn it is about an hour. I've given it a few tries, made it about an hour, but the whiskey just, it makes me sick to my stomach. So I can't handle it. I was really sad about that, but I have finally found, I won't tell you what it is yet, I'm saving it for another video, but I have been searching high and low for a perfume from this house because I absolutely love the bottles. I need one of those bottles in my life, and I finally found one that I want to get a full bottle of. I'll let you know about that in a future video, but Sandance is not it. All right, you guys, and last up on my list for today is another one by Initio. I'm not trying to attack the House of Initio today. I actually really like the House of Initio, but this one was an absolute no for me. I hated it. It is Absolute Aphrodisiac. And I think out of all of my YouTube sisters here, I might be the only one who doesn't like this fragrance because every single one of my YouTube friends here that have their own channel, I feel like I've heard them talk about it. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who said they didn't like this. It seems like everybody that I watch on YouTube for fragrance content was saying that Absolute Aphrodisiac is absolutely amazing. One of their favorite vanillas ever. I was so excited. I got a sample and I hated it. I absolutely could not stand it. I think it's the animalic notes. It's got civet and, no, not civet. It's got castoreum and leather, which I don't really didn't really mind the leather. I actually have discovered I like leather in my fragrances. It just has to be done a certain way. It has to be smooth. It can't be sharp or harsh. But a smooth leather, I'm really enjoying that in my fragrances these days. But the Castoreum, it smelled dirty. That's what it was. It was animalic dirtiness, and it really smelled like vanilla and not showering. It was just not, oh, it was just really bad. And yeah, some people think it's super, super sexy, and I'm sure on the people who love it, it does smell sexy. I'm sure it doesn't smell like vanilla and dirtiness. I mean, I just wanted to take a shower. And I know so many people absolutely adore Absolute Aphrodisiac, but I did mention this in another video I had when I was testing it. I told you guys I didn't like it, and some of you guys came on and said that you didn't like it either, and I was kind of surprised at how many people commented that they don't like it. So that's kind of why these videos are important, because it's good to see that there are other people out there that, you know, don't love a perfume quite as much as everybody else seems to. And there's nothing wrong with you. It just means you're different. It just means you have your own nose, your own mind, your own opinions, and your own whatever, your own skin chemistry, whatever the case may be. But Absolute Aphrodisiac just smelled horrible on me. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did find it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.